Greetings, comrades. How are you? It's cold in Johannesburg. I am Ngabuto Nicholas Mapena. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video, circulate. Most of you are sending us messages on WhatsApp and other platforms, asking questions that have been answered in the numerous videos that we have recorded. So it is important that you subscribe so that you don't miss anything. Most of the questions that you receive in our private inboxes are already answered in a number of videos. So we appeal to you that subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on anything. And if you have a question, just scroll through my YouTube channel. You will check the video that speaks to what you want to hear. Because we think we've answered most of the questions. In this video, though, we want to talk about a relative visa. You remember we spoke about the relative visa, the application process, and most comrades were then saying, if you have a relative, say we had what we normally call the Mandela ID, can you apply and qualify? I think such individuals, if you say I'm over 18, you are an adult, your father or your relative is on PR, should you apply under them? We had said we're not very clear on that. This is why we did not discourage anyone from applying. But we think now we are more clearer than we were last time when we recorded the video. So there's someone that applied for a relative visa at the South African Embassy in Harare. The person sent us the letter last night, and the application was declined. It says just to read the first part so that we understand. This says, with reference to your application for a relative visa, you are, in terms of the provisions of Section 8, bracket 3 of the Act, hereby notified of your decision as follows. Your application is denied. The reason for the decision is as follows. A applicant is a major to apply for a relative visa must apply on her own accord. That's close quote. That's the decision or the reason that was given for a rejection of a relative visa application. So it says applicant is a major to apply for a relative visa must apply on her own accord. What basically means, I know I have many lawyers that are following this YouTube, and I'm told that our channel is being watched by many people that even in Braamfontein, those that are assisting people to apply for permits. Is that a major is an adult person. So if you're an adult, you need to apply on your own accord. You don't have to apply under a person. But this does not mean, in my understanding, this is why I'm saying we have many legal minds that are following, and they might give a clearer interpretation than the one that I'm giving. Assuming you have a partner, you are in a relationship, for one reason or another, you are not married, customary, or what we normally call the white wedding. You don't have a marriage certificate. I do not think you can be denied if you apply for a relative visa because the person is your partner and you are applying to be with your partner. I do not think they will deny you or deny you the right to stay with your partner if you meet all the requirements. And instead of applying for a spousal or for a partner's visa, but you elect to apply for a relative visa, I do not think they are going to deny you. But if you apply under your uncle or your sister, your aunt, your father, mother, because they are on PR and you are an adult, chances are very high that they are going to deny your application on the same reasons this person's application was denied. It says applicant is a major to apply for a relative visa, must apply on her own accord. So it means many people that were conducting are saying my uncle or brother, sister, father, mother benefited from the Mandela Amnesty 1996. Should I apply under them? Chances are your application will be declined, going by the reasons granted or given to this applicant who applied at the South African Embassy in Harare. So we thought we needed to highlight this to you. We are left with about 5 months or so. I was not good in mathematics, but we should not count December because December is the last month. So I left with about 5 months or so before the expiry of the grace period that was granted up to the 31st of December 2022. So some comrades who do not qualify to move to other visas were then saying they have relatives that are on PR or who benefited from the 1996 amnesty. And they were saying they are preparing their paperwork to apply for such. And I think if you're an adult, you are going to be declined. But a child who's below 17 years, if you are below 17 years, you are 12, you can apply, the child can apply under for a relative visa, because in most cases, they apply for an accompanying visa. In this case, maybe there is a guardian who's on PR, then the child can apply, which we will research again on the process of one being a guardian, what is required for one to be a guardian, and then they can apply, because we're also receiving questions, people saying what will happen to the kids in January if the parents do not qualify to move to other visas. So you might need to have a guardian, then the child can apply. But I'm not 100%. This is why I'm saying we will research. But what I'm now certain of is that if you're an adult, you apply for a relative visa, chances are very high that you are going to be declined. I did not check Section 8, bracket 3 of the Immigration Act. So you might want to check Section 8, bracket 3 of the Immigration Act on what it says. Because it says you are, in terms of the provisions of Section 8, bracket 3 of the Act. So it is important that comrades just Google that act and understand what Section 8 bracket 3 says. So this is what we thought it was important that we communicate this to you, so that if you are busy trying to get your Zimbabwe police clearance, thinking that you're applying for a relative visa because your aunt or uncle is on PR, chances are you'll be denied. Comrade Clayton Chidura says, hi, which documents for life partner needed to apply? We have said, we have recorded in the previous videos, you need to prove that you are in a relationship with the person. It is important that you prove. We've spoken about the proof that will mean even the lobola payments and so forth. It's important to have all those documents and the witnesses that you are in a relationship. Remember, we said if you just if you don't have proof, they will say you just picked someone in the streets and paid them. So they will not grant you. So it's important that there is proof that you are in a relationship, the person is your partner, they are witnesses. If you paid lobola, but you are not yet married, and so forth, it is important to do that. And the person's documents, who either is on PR or is a South African, should be supplied. Also, check the last video that you recorded when we spoke about the interview. If you are getting married, the interview that are done at the Department of Home Affairs by the marriage officer, we spoke about that last time. Comrades Pinwe Kasima writes, what about applying for medical visa? A medical visa, Pinwe Kasima, if you have a medical condition and you cannot be treated in Zimbabwe, you have been referred by a doctor to come and see specialists, you can apply. So you need a recommendation from, I think, from a medical practitioner in Zimbabwe, or even a medical practitioner. If say you came for a visit, you were granted some few days, maybe 3 weeks or so, or even 3 months, and then you been going treatment, and your medical practitioner then recommends that you must remain in the republic for a certain period while they are monitoring you, while you are undergoing treatment. You then apply, and this also needs you to prove that the hospital bills, who's actually paying for the medical treatment, whether it's yourself or it's a relative. I think they need such information. But remember, a medical visa does not last that long. Maybe you are receiving treatment for the next 6 months or so, depending on what your medical practitioner says. Then they grant you the medical visa for you to remain in the republic to receive medical treatment. Once you have gone through that process, you'll be expected to return back home. Comrade Nothando Ncube says, ngicela ukubuza ukuthi nginga-aplya online or kukhona engingaya khona. Nothando Ncube, I've been receiving similar questions on WhatsApp, notwithstanding that you have been explaining this, but a lot of people seem not to understand. The application, Comrade Nothando Ncube, is online. We have explained this. Firstly, we have said you need to check the requirements if you do qualify. You check against your own qualifications, because you know your qualifications for. So if you qualify as per the requirements that are listed in the website of VFS, you then apply online. We've gone through this process. You either you are given a bank account to pay at the bank, or you swipe at the VFS facility center. You submit your documents, you apply for a visa that to qualify under. So some people, like yesterday, someone was sending me a message to say, is VFS Rivonia open? Someone was sending a message to saying, here's the application process started, can we now apply? Of course, people, some people do not understand, but the reality is this shows that people who normally ask such questions, they do not qualify, because they've looked, they've realized that they do not qualify, and they think that there might be a different announcement other than the announcement that was made that ZEP holders should apply for mainstream visas. So, Comrade Nothando Ncube, please apply if you qualify. But if you don't qualify, it will not help. Comrade Aubrey Nobed writes, hello, Comrade Mabena. Is it possible to get that sponsored visa with somebody who is still in a divorce process? If the person is on a divorce process, you can't get a sponsor visa because the person is married to someone else, and they are going through a divorce process. So you are not married. at the moment. So a spouse visa, is spousal visa is granted to a person that is married to either a person who's a South African or who's on PR. But in this case, someone was married, is in the process of divorcing. So I don't think you'll be granted because you are not married to the person. I'm not sure though that whether you can apply for a relative visa or partner's visa. I'm not very sure on that. Maybe the Home Affairs Department can then advise you on that, but I'm not very sure on how they are going to treat such an application where a person is still married to someone, they are going through a divorce process, and then you launch an application to say, this person is my partner, I want to be with them, and their divorce is still before the courts. So I'm not very sure, but I don't think they will grant. So you need to wait until the divorce process. But again, I know you are chasing the 31st December 22 deadline, and their divorce process might take longer. So, well, that becomes unfortunate. Comrades, thank you so much. Like I said, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, Circulate. All your questions are answered in the videos that we have recorded. I think we have recorded over 100 videos talking about documentation. And of course, some videos we talk politics. Yeah, so I think we've done in this channel about over 200 videos. But on documentation, I think we've done 100 videos. So please subscribe and circulate to your friends. Otherwise, have a great day, comrades. Goodbye. Okay, Sevias, comrade Sevias Chico. Tendera, I already said goodbye. Says thank you. I learned a lot. Now we appreciate Comrade Sevias. We'll continue to assist each other. I had already said goodbye. Goodbye. Have Comrade Primrose Masoga, you are saying, are you allowed to work under a relative visa? Yeah, a relative visa, I think it allows you to work. But I will verify, but I think it allows you to work. As because you are on ZEP, when you submit your application, Comrade Primrose Masoga, you must submit your work contract, proof that you are working, because you did not come to South Africa to be with a relative. You are a holder of ZEP. You do not qualify to move to other visas, but you can qualify to apply for a relative visa as provided for in the Act. So you need to submit your work contract so that they give you a visa that will allow you to work. I don't think there's any other question. Every time when I say goodbye, then a beep, a question comes through. So I think we will continue engaging, comrades. Otherwise, have a great day. Goodbye.